super annoying. All right, so then I just need to stream. All right, how's that? Wow. Look at us, everyone. We have sound now. Luckily for you all, we said nothing important or interesting. Yep. Yep. That's correct. All right. All right. we're doing so well. I edited this out of the podcast, but the last 2 minutes there was a break of us trying to figure out how to get audio to stream. So Austin, thank you for alerting us that there's nothing coming through the stream. Now there is. By the way, Josh and Johnny, now we can't hear you guys. I hate everything. Why is that not working? Yeah. Austin, let us know if you can hear Josh and or Johnny now. It should be right because I've got it on stream. Because that should be heading to. All right, let me see if I can hear you guys. And Scotty Scheffler right now too. Yeah, why is your audio not popping up? That makes no sense. Oh, because I haven't applied it? Is that why? Yeah, Austin, I'm picking up what you're saying. I don't know why they're not coming through. All right, for people streaming, we're still trying to figure out why Josh and Johnny's audio is not appearing. It should be, but it's not. I mean, it's just yeah, yeah, I mean, you guys, it's not you guys. It's just yeah. I mean, all the settings are right. It's just not picking up, which is kind of unfortunate. I don't know if if I close out of OBS and reopen, I mean that'll kill stream. I think, but it would be better than just hearing me because I've tried every audio setting I can, and it's not. Yeah, something's really messed up. Yeah, I mean, you guys are good. I mean, I can hear you fine. That's right. I mean, it could be my Discord output's not right, but that's not. I don't think that's true either. One of you say something. Oh, that's what the problem is. Here we go.
About the nature of
There we go.
satire.
Try that.
In
The level
years.
of misinformation.
That should be
Oh
good.
my
Level of
gosh.
misinformation.
And it's not from one group. It's simply something like I think the first one to really make it big and really get people settled, so to speak, was the WNBA looking into banning booing. And like,
yeah.
great post.
All right, boys, we're back. Austin's giving us the thumbs up.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Sorry about that, boys.
Man, I just want more people not understanding what online sports fans do. I cannot wait for the WNBA to become as big as they want to be, but then hate what it looks like at the top.
All right, we're back, which makes no sense to you if you're just on podcast, but I had to cut out the last 5 minutes because something happened on my PC, and because Windows is the worst, Josh and Johnny were just speaking into the void. So, Austin, thank you for helping us troubleshoot. Thumbs up. A special shout out to Austin and Autumn. If you know, you know. Yeah, we're back. Yes, Johnny, the last time you talked, you said the Memorial. We got to see Scotty play golf, and that was a great time.
Yeah.
Equal his amount of wins to the Rockies.
Yes.
Just in case that's the part that got cut out.
It is. But yes, thank you.
And I'm going to go to one of those games in July when they're in Cincinnati to truly test out whether
I don't know if you would have
a curse or not.
And we've determined if
it's a true test.
If the curse is confirmed, Johnny cannot leave.
Oh,
the stadium.
They have to stay in the stadium until they win.
That's the opposite of what we want. We need you to move move to Florida or something.
The idea of a curse in my mind is that he only has so much curse juice in him, and like
I don't know, Josh. This one goes pretty deep, my friend.
I'm not saying
I might be the Kool-Aid man when it comes to this.
I'm not saying it's not a deep vein. I am saying that. I'm not saying. You know how the Bene Gesserit
they also
are like,
have
we measure
won games. It just always takes extra innings.
Yeah,
and it's very rare.
The idea is like, you know how the Bene Gesserit are like, we measure our like victories in centuries. I'm not saying this is a short. Oh, he has to stay a long weekend. LOL. This might be a while. We might have to develop new technologies in the biomedical field in order to preserve his life. However, curse is a curse. Rules are rules. I don't make them up.
Yeah.
So that's just root for the Reds that day.
Otherwise, we're never.
Or I'll be stuck there forever.
Otherwise,
and be arrested for trespassing.
No, you explain. No, I'm sorry, sir. My name is Johnny Gaunt, and I am in fact cursed. I must remain here until the curse is lifted. Okay. And they'll go, oh,
yeah, right.
This is your home now. We've already sent your mail here.
Yeah,
you're welcome.
Well, good. So yes, Oklahoma City, Indiana in the NBA Finals. I think we all have mixed feelings. I think on Indiana, I'm less upset about it than Johnny than you are because your team got beat by Indiana. But the Knicks weren't that far away from getting to the NBA Finals, so I can understand. So I'm fascinated. Again, like I said, Vegas
I just wish there was more
really
marketable teams,
heavily favors Oklahoma City, but we'll see how this plays out. And in the NHL, speaking of some hurt, Josh.
Please don't. I thought we were going to just breeze right past that.
Well, we can.
I
but
knew.
Skate on past it, maybe?
Knew.
If you will.
Just run past that goal so many times.
Yeah.
I had an inkling, and I had a fear. They won the first game.
Yep, you're right.
And you don't. We've seen this with the Boars teams specifically. The only time he's undefeated is in a Game 7. You do what you must to get to a Game 7. You do not win so big it causes the other team to start fighting you. In the first game, you save that. Save that energy, all right? You only are allowed certain numbers of wins, apparently, with this Stars playoff team. So you must save them for the latter half, all right? No sweeps. No, not even like a gentleman's sweep. You must take it all the way. Again, I don't make these rules. but I am recognizing patterns, and I think I'm getting close to having to enforce them if these guys aren't going to if these guys aren't going to pay attention. I don't know what enforce means. I don't know if guys who have blades on their feet are incredibly enforceable when I do not, but I'll figure out a way.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
They have to skate on the Mavs court where American Airlines is going to convert the court.
Yes.
And they have to skate roller. I don't know what the rules are. I haven't looked at the NHL bylaws recently. Does the NHL require ice?
That's a good question.
American Airlines be the only roller hockey venue?
I love it. I mean, it's backyard baseball vibes, right? Like sometimes you're in someone's neighborhood, you're at the neighborhood park, you're in someone's backyard.
It's
you're
clear
on
Dallas
blacktop, you're in the Cactus Gulch, you know?
If Dallas is already establishing itself as the next generation of incredibly unlucky city when it comes to teams, I'm not saying it's happened yet, but if they're looking to like move in that direction, which it seems like it's, then I say go all in, and like we already have a crazy stadium that blinds its own players.
True.
We already have a basketball team that trades one white guy for another white guy. We may as well have the NHL be, hey, we just play on the basketball court. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do about it?
Yep. I say push the envelope, Josh.
Awesome.
Elijah is watching on TikTok. Austin's watching on YouTube. You can always join us live when the stream works on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok every Monday night if you want your content before who knows when it comes out on Spotify, but usually Wednesdays. Gentlemen, I want to get into a conversation. We'll probably come back to the NBA, NHL to maybe make some picks, even though it's not technically picks of the week. There's a couple, and Johnny threw together the show notes for us, and I think his title and probably the title of this episode are pretty apt. And it's College Football Playoff Expansion Propaganda. And I think propaganda is a great word to use. Now, look, we're going to get into basically two different options that are likely before us, not this year, but in future years, beginning in 2026, when we expand this thing to probably 16 teams, maybe 14, but we're really talking 16, I think. Now, propaganda is a good word because we all three of us think, hey, this 16-team playoff, stupid. Actually, this 12-team playoff that we currently have, kind of dumb. But the reality is it's here, and it has been here, and it will be here moving forward. So we'll spare you our thoughts, which we give you all the time on why we think college football playoff expansion is bad. If you agree, disagree, you can always hit us up on Twitter. But basically, there's two different options. And not everyone, shocking, is on the same page in terms of which option they want. So option number one is basically automatic bids across the board, but not necessarily balanced. So 4 SEC auto bids, 4 Big 10 auto bids, 2 Big 12 auto bids, 2 ACC, 1 group of 5 auto bid, and then 3 at large. And Notre Dame plays a part here as well. So that's one option. Basically, there's only 3 at large, so the committee's job here would actually be fairly simple, I think, other than seeding these teams. But in terms of who's actually in the postseason, it's pretty simple. The second option is you just take the 5 highest-ranked conference champions, and then you take 11 at-large teams, and that's your field of 16. And it sounds like the SEC wants this. The Big 12 has actually been championing, however you say that word, this option. Johnny, I'm curious what you think about all of this mess, is what I'm going to call it, because it is kind of a mess. Is there an option that you like better, or maybe I'll put it this way, there's an option you hate less?
That's probably the better question.
What's a less disagreeable?
Actually, my biggest takeaway is from all of everything coming out. You know, Greg Sankey might as well have had devil horns drawn on his photograph on social media and articles all week, because he did himself no favors in the SEC media days this week by what he said. And listen, like, Okay. This is going to sound like I'm defending Greg Sankey, and I can't believe I'm doing that because I'm not. But remember what his job is. His job is that he reports to the school presidents and athletic directors. He's supposed to basically make them as much money as possible. The problem is not that Greg Sankey exists. The problem is that Greg Sankey exists without any overarching authority looking out for the entirety of the sport. Cool. I already went on my little tirade there, and we're done. Let's get back to this. I have actually seen more negativity out of this expansion from people who wanted expansion to begin with. And I think that's actually been my biggest takeaway. Like people like Joel Klatt, who are Mr. Optimistic about the future of college football. Oh, this is going to be amazing going forward. Meanwhile, people like us, and not everyone in the media was, saying, oh, this is wonderful, but most were. And a lot of the average fans, not all of them, were saying, hey, this is opening Pandora's box. We don't want this. 4 is fine. Let's leave it alone for now. And now a lot of the people who were in favor of expanding are like, oh, this isn't what we wanted. And we're kind of like, no, this is exactly what you asked for. This was always going to happen. They are always going to look to how far can you expand this without fully watering down the product. They're still even talking about expanding the NCAA tournament for basketball.
Right.
So don't come at me with, oh, they'll finally be done after this. Like, yeah. 16, they'd probably at least stay put for a while. Like, I think much longer than they have even the 14
right,
playoff.
But spoiler alert, the FCS has more than 16 teams. So the model is out there.
Exactly. Miss me with, we'll even be done at that point.
Yep.
But anyway, so the one that, in an ideal world, I do like the second option better. In an ideal world, with all conferences equal, with everything, because that is just, hey, you win your conference championship, you're in. Wonderful. I love that. I actually love that about, like, at least in the 12-team model, I did love that there was a priority on winning your conference. I do love that part at least stayed put. So I love that here. And so that would be wonderful. And just a reminder for everybody, it's no longer going to be, buys and stuff won't be related to you winning your conference title anymore. It just makes sure that you're in the field.
Yep.
You no longer get that buy. That would be true of these styles as well. But because the SEC and the Big Ten are so far superior, because they've rated these other conferences, let's not forget that, but they're so far and away superior, I can't really get away from the first option. I hate the first option too, but the first option at least makes sure that 2 Big 12 teams and 2 ACC teams get in. Well, and if I'm being honest with you, in the 5-11 model, I don't know if you're getting 4 Big 12 ACC teams in total every year.
Agreed.
Yep. Like I don't know if that's going to happen. With it being the 5 highest ranked conference champions, you're getting a group of 5 team in either way. Like, so that is Notre Dame. If they're in the top 16, either way, they're in. So those are the same. It's truly just what you're doing here. I would love for the Big 12 and ACC to be level in automatic bids as the Big 10 and SEC. But if you're asking me between the 2 bad options, that's the best one for me because I'm a realist.
Yep.
But ideally, I would rather have you earn it with an at-large bid. But that's disingenuous. The Big 12 is not as good as the Big 10. The ACC is not as good as the SEC. And honestly, I'm afraid in the 5-11 that we're going to get maybe 3 Big 12 ACC teams in on a yearly average, and I want better representation from those conferences. So, I mean, I hate all of it. I hate all of it, but I guess that would be what I would say about that. I guess the first option is the lesser of 2 evils.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Well, the lesser of 2 evils still preserves that value of at least trying to get non-SEC Big Ten teams in. Sankey was on the Dan Patrick show today, like this early afternoon, and quote, he says, "I'd give no allocations. this whole 5+7 thing that exists right now, I'd just make it the 12 best teams, which sounds fairly minor on its surface, but historically, with how the SEC has moved, especially given the frustration of like, why do we even have the NCAA? Like, it's baby steps, it's little chips, to try and wear down the opposition to what they really want, which is just more of their own guys in.
Mm-hmm.
And just because the Big Ten has not been as explicit about it, doesn't mean that they won't have the temptation to do the same thing if these rules are reversed and there was a concentration of power that we would see as the equivalent in the SEC.
Yeah. Well, and an important note too is that technically, now I think this gets into some of the legal stuff that I'm probably not smart enough, but technically, starting in 2026, the Big Ten and SEC don't need any other conference's approval. So there is a level to where they can do what they want. Now, I think they are, from my interpretation of this, and this may be way off, so if this is way off, I'll try to correct it next week, or you all can yell at me on Twitter, or both. My interpretation of this is that the SEC and Big Ten, whether actually trying to do this or not, are at least trying to appear that they are placating to the other conferences like the ACC and Big 12. But really, if it comes down to it, my understanding is that they can just steamroll everyone. And they could say like, hey, 4 SEC teams, 4 Big 10 teams for sure, and then the rest of you figure this out. Now, there's probably some level in which if they actually went through with that, lawsuits would ensue and this would become a whole big thing. So I think there is some effort to make sure that there's at least some happiness, relatively speaking, in this new format. I'm with you guys. I do think option number 1 is the better of the two options. Because what I dislike the most, I think, about the expanded playoff is that I think it waters down the regular season, which college football's regular season is the best regular season in sports. And sure, soccer, because that's all you have, but you know what I'm saying. In American sports, it's the best. And I think it still is. But when you are throwing in 11 at-large teams, you know what your conversation in November is going to sound like? And it kind of already does. Oh, well, Tennessee's strength of schedule is this, and they've got 4 losses, but Clemson's strength of schedule is this, and they got 2 losses. I don't care. If you have 2 or more losses, I, frankly think that you don't need a spot competing for a championship because you had that opportunity in the regular season. But that being said, one of the reasons why I like the first option better is because you've got 4 SEC teams for sure. You've got 4 Big Ten teams. Now this ugly conversation in November of people just throwing stats and metrics and strength of schedule and propaganda that I frankly don't care about that much. Now we can at least have a conversation like, well, hey, there's 2 Big 12 spots available. Hey, Oklahoma State and TCU are playing a huge game in November. They're currently 2nd and 3rd in the standings. This game means a lot. That's the kind of stuff I want. Now, does it mean that Oklahoma State and TCU are actually capable of winning a championship? No, probably not. But at least give us some stakes and kind of add into the regular season what you've taken away by 16 teams getting in a playoff when only 2 or 3 can actually win a championship in any given season. And the funny thing is we actually saw that play out.
I forgot the part.
Go ahead, Johnny.
The best part about that first option, and you're kind of alluding to it right now, and I don't know if you guys have read this yet, but it's been rumored though also that's not all that those conferences are talking about. The Big Ten and SEC is also talking about expanding Championship Sunday.
Right.
When they have those Sunday, Saturday.
Yeah.
And so in this case, both conferences get 4. So if you finish 1st or 2nd in your conference, you're already in. Mm-hmm. You're done. But you would have the team who finished 3rd in your conference play the 6th place team. You'd have the 4th place team play the 5th place team, and those 2 teams would go as your 3rd and 4th teams of your respective conferences. And then
that I say,
you would still have your 1st
stupid.
and 2nd.
Stupid.
I hate that.
Why? You know why?
Because Aaron, that devalues even more what you just said. because then we're actually not even talking about, oh man, maybe they'll finish second. Now we're talking about, oh man, Purdue's going to be playing Iowa this weekend. And, whoever wins, they're going to be in the driver's seat for that 6th seed.
Oh, boy.
And probably playing Penn State.
Oh.
Like, good
it really
God.
controls its own destiny here.
I hate it.
Who wants that?
Nobody.
No
TV
one wants
Otherwise,
that.
nobody.
And people keep... See, but here's the problem. I'm sorry. We
That's
said we
another
weren't
thing
going
that
to
can
do
talk
this
about at Big
rant.
Noon.
Everybody points to, we are already talked about ratings. So let's talk about ratings, because everybody points to that as, look, college football's doing great. Look at the ratings. Ratings are downstream from decisions made 5, 10, 15 years ago. It's not based on current what's going on. Because most of these current decisions aren't immediately affecting the football. But when you have these giant decisions going on, Josh, you talked about chipping away, and that's what this is. We are slowly chipping away at the fabric of what Aaron just said. College football, best regular season in the sport. And you know what, Aaron? Like, I don't like the 12, but I at least still felt like the regular season had a lot of meaning this last year, even with the 12. I'm not a fan. I don't love it. We're just, you get to a breaking point with everybody. And I'm not near my breaking point. I love this sport too much. But I'm the 1%. Aaron's the 1%. Josh, the one, like, we're not going anywhere. But what about the people who aren't in that top percentile of fan? You are going to start losing them. I guarantee you've lost a lot of Washington State and Oregon State fans. And you're going to keep chipping away. Hey, now it looks like all these players are mercenaries because of NIL. That's not true, but I understand the sentiment. Hey, spring games, no more because of the transfer portal. You can just scout our players and rip them away. We don't like that. Oh, these guys are basically professionals now. They're getting paid all these millions of dollars. I don't want to watch that. It ruins the game.
Oh, hey, all of our important games are now in December and January, right when the NFL's most important games are. At noon, yes.
At noon. At noon. At noon.
As it should be.
But like at rivalries, traditional rivalries that you've played forever, they're starting to go and fade away. You are slowly, little by little by little, chipping away at the fabric of what makes college football.
Tell Johnny.
And I'm scared that in 10 years, I'm going to look up and not recognize the sport that I love. That was a total rant.
I love it.
But
classic.
These are both terrible options. Terrible options. But like you said at the beginning, Aaron, we can't go in reverse. So hopefully they pick the first option, and hopefully, God help us, they don't do that and add more unnecessary games onto that conference championship weekend. We don't need that.
Well, and then you're entering into conversations like, when does this playoff need to start? Like, probably during Army-Navy week. That's just jail.
Right.
That's stocks and then jail. Both.
Don't.
It's terrible.
Don't.
The beauty of Army-Navy is because it is for so many reasons, but it being standalone on that Saturday is another reason why that game is the best. It's beautiful. So again, we'll yell at this we'll yell about this until we're blue in the face. If you've followed the show for any amount of time, you know that's true, because we've kind of been yelling about this stuff for like 3 years now. And you know what? People aren't listening to us. The TV executives have not tuned into this show clearly. So we'll continue to yell about it.
Solutions.
Yes.
We have the technology.
They'd listen, but they can't. There's too much money around their ears. That's blocking out all the noise.
Yeah. Give me some of that. I'll take it off your hands. I'll be good with it.
Yep. Now, I will say this. This is episode 19 of season 3. We will record next week, and then we'll take a couple weeks off for season 4. When we come back, season 4, the calendar is probably going to read July, which translation for us means we're in full college football mode starting basically in July. So
exactly.
Now, we'll have more conversations that are less sad and less yelling. But, well, I shouldn't say less yelling. I'm not going to promise.
maybe
I'm not
not
going to make any
less yelling.
promises I can't keep. But
could
we'll
be
have
happy yelling,
conversations
though.
about like preseason top 25 and teams we think are going to do really well and all the storylines from the offseason that we may not have necessarily touched on in this show. We'll start getting into those conversations. So if you like that kind of stuff, make sure you're subscribed on whatever channel, platform, media you're listening to. It's free, and it makes sure that you don't miss any episodes. So it's all bad. Well, it's not all bad because it's college football and college football is good. But I think you know where we're coming from. Or if you're like, you guys are idiots, here's why it's great. Let us know, because I'll be honest, I have yet to see a convincing argument for why either of these two options is good for college football. Outside of someone who's just a casual fan and the only time you're watching college football is around the postseason anyways, and that's fine. I'm not insulting you by calling you a casual fan, but that's what you are, and this conversation is not for you in the sense that there are many, many people, Johnny, you said it, like the 1%, heck, I'll even say the 50%, because I think at this point, a majority of fans don't like where this is headed. That's really the heart of who we're talking to when we're having this conversation. So anyways, we had like 2 weeks off, so we had a lot on our chests to get off. And you're right, since the last time we recorded, this year's 12-team playoff has changed. There are auto bids, but there are not auto first round bids, and that actually I think is a good thing.
It's a good thing.
So with all due respect, Boise State and some Arizona State, you probably didn't deserve a first round bye, but that's neither here nor there. We'll get into those conversations some other time.
Sometimes the guys make picks based on their vast knowledge of sports. Sometimes they make picks based on vibes.
After much soul searching, after looking at a map, I have come to the conclusion.
Okay.
It's the Cavs. The Cavs. My Cavs, Josh. That's who you have, right?
It's the Cavs. It's the Cavs over the Nuggets. Yes, you got me.
Either way, they're probably going to be wrong. It's time for Picks of the Week.
Oh, things that could have been. We could have had Johnny would have been in the hospital by now. Nugget challenge, Cavs Nuggets. We could have been streaming from the hospital.
Honestly,
Disappointing.
thank
Be
you.
great content.
Thank you, Cavs and Nugs, for preserving us. And when I say us, Johnny specifically, for one more season.
That's true. Well, it is Picks of the Week, and we are rapidly wrapping up this season. This is episode 19 of 20. Our current scoreboard reads myself with 10 points, Johnny with 8, and Josh with 7. A little bit of movement. For one, our NBA picks were all bad, surprising no one. But I did at least say Oklahoma City would make the final. Now, I thought they were going to end up playing the Celtics. Or did I say that? I don't know. I think I said Celtics. I think I had the Celtics repeat.
You had Celtics, Aaron.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I do get a point for them at least making the final. So that's why I'm up to 10. And then both the Fever and the Dream split their series. You guys talked about that a couple weeks ago. Josh, you
Aaron,
nailed
how'd they
it in
split 'em?
terms of how that would go down. So congrats to you on that.
The inverse home field advantage.
Yes.
I guess the way
The home court disadvantage really played
home
its
court disadvantage
really played out.
strikes again.
Yeah. Yes, it did. So, Josh, I think, you got a 7th point there. So we've got a couple of points up for grabs this
Can I
week.
petition?
Well, actually,
Oh,
real
that's right.
quick, before we do official picks of the week, guys, Oklahoma City or Indiana?
OKC in 6.
Okay.
Hold on.
I kind of agree. I'm
Josh
debating
is
between
really
5
debating.
or 6.
I'm debating because
I feel like people are underrating. Listen,
to
I
keep-
know OKC's defense is outstanding, but I think they're underrating
Yeah.
the difficulty of guarding Indiana. If anybody can do it, it's OKC. But I still think they're probably too good to not get a couple.
I'll go because it'd be really funny to see everybody who's like seriously angry at ratings have to deal with it. Pacers in 7.
Okay, nice.
because it's gonna just infuriate. It's gonna infuriate everybody.
Yeah, well, I thought Pacers in 4 is kind of funnier, to be honest. But yeah,
Pacers in
yeah,
4
that-
is the funniest.
Pacers in 4 is
the absolute
hilarious.
funniest. Thank you, Aaron. I'm actually switching
Because it's
now.
actually worse ratings because it's 3 less
Yeah,
games,
exactly.
so it's even worse.
Yep.
Like the NBA wants
Everyone's like, oh, it's
7
just
games
done?
for every series.
Yeah, sorry, that's right. That would help. Yeah, anything that's not going to help ratings. So Pacers 4.
all right.
Pacers.
Florida versus
Every
Edmonton.
game's under 90 points,
Yeah. Oh,
which is impossible with these two teams. That's not possible, but
yeah.
Oh man, I just want a bunch of 85 to 82 slog fests.
hey, don't doubt the Dortress, man.
Oh my
Lou
God.
Dort,
Yeah.
he's
Yes.
coming for him.
Hey, that's that Midwestern. We're gonna teach everyone how we do it in the Midwest.
That's right.
Man.
Speaking of, nope, not speaking of Midwest, Florida and Edmonton in the Stanley Cup final. Of course, this is a rematch from
Well,
last
it's in the
year.
middle. We're in the middle of that.
Yeah. Yep. Midwest is where they'd play if it was a neutral site game. The Panthers obviously won this. They nearly let it slip against the Oilers last year. What will happen this year? Guys, I'm going to say Florida wins in 6. Goalie Bob's just playing so well right now, which makes me a little angry because he did that for like one series with the Blue Jackets, and he's just been on. Now, and well, there's a couple different reasons why I think Florida wins that. Goalie Bob's playing outstanding. Zach Hyman for the Edmonton Oilers, one of their best players, a lot of firepower. He was announced injured. Well, he was announced injured. He was injured, announced out for the entire Stanley Cup series. So those two reasons, I'm going Florida in 6. The Canadian sadness continues.
Florida in 5 because it's funny to see Canada keep losing the Stanley Cup. That's the only reason why. I have nothing against the Oilers. It's just funny.
Yeah, well, you know what? Canada, let us win the 4 nations and maybe we'd pick you. So there you go.
I'll take Florida in 7 because I want their hopes to be up that long.
The maximum pain possible.
Yes.
Man. We're mean.
We are.
I
We
mean.
are mean.
And with that, we have
Leaving.
sealed an Oilers victory.
I want them
Yeah.
to see what it's like to lose
4.
the 7th game,
Yes.
at least in some points, because clearly the Stars can't get them there yet.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, that was all free bonus content for you because our actual picks
Yeah.
of the
Oh,
week
yeah, we have real
is
picks.
the French Open Championship. That's tennis. And we are in the quarterfinals. So usually we're stupid and we pick this at the beginning of the tournament when it's like the round of 64 and we never get any points.
Yeah.
So we're going to do the same thing and still not get any points. Guys, I'm going to pick Carlos Alcaraz on the men's side and I'm going to pick Coco Gauff on the women's side. Why? Because I picked that every single time and one time it was correct. So I'm sticking with it. But I also
Go
like both of
faithful.
those players a lot. I will say TFO for the U.S. knocked out a Frenchman in the round of, round of 16. That was a big upset. So I will be rooting for him throughout, but he's got a steep climb to actually pull this thing off.
Yeah, it's been a great tournament for the Americans, women's and men's. Aaron, you just mentioned TFO on the men's side. You have Madison Keys and Coco Gauff, the 2 and 7 seeds facing each other, both Americans in the quarterfinal with the women. You just picked Coco. That'll be just a fascinating win-win type of match, for the Americans there. One of them will obviously be in the semifinal with a great chance of getting to the championship there in Roland Garros. I will be very boring, but I knew you guys weren't just going to pick the top seeds because it's not necessarily the favorites just because they're the top seeds. If you follow tennis, you understand it's like world golf rankings. Just because you're the top ranked golfer doesn't mean you're actually the favorite to win a tournament.
Unless
But I'm
you're the
actually
number
picking the one
golfer and
seeds.
your name is Scotty Scheffler, but yes.
Right,
But I
right.
know-
That
yeah, I
does
know what you're
happen
saying.
sometimes. Yeah, it's just, it doesn't always equate.
Right,
It doesn't always
right.
equate. But I will be sticking with the 1 seeds in both. And so I will have Sabalenka with the women. I'm hoping we get to see Sabalenka and Swiatek play each other in that semifinal, and they get to play Coco or Madison Keys in the final. I think that would be some outstanding matches to watch on that side. And then on the men, I'll go with Jannik Sinner. He's outstanding. I hope that we get to see him and Carlos Alcaraz. Although I would love to see TFO continue on his run, but I think Sinner will get it done with the men.
I can't pick a guy named Sinner. What do you think I do for a living?
That's true.
This is Italian.
Sinner. It's still the same word. Which is why I'm picking
It's
words
still
that are
spelled
just
like that too.
still spelled like that.
Yep.
Put a thing over the I or something. Come on, man. Put is there a fancy R? Yeah, put a fancy R in there. Anyway, I digress. I'm gonna pick Alexander Zverev, a lovely German tennis player, for the men's side, and then for the women's, I picked Iga. What is that? Swiatek.
Yeah, very good.
Mm-hmm.
Wanted to try and pronounce
Josh.
these names live in one. So that was my main motivation.
Outstanding.
Nice.
So there we go.
Djokovic is still in the quarterfinals for
Technically
those of
not.
you who follow tennis. Like, he's there. He's facing Zverev in the quarterfinal. The Joker's been struggling lately to stay healthy and finish these tournaments, but he's in the quarterfinals again. But it is a tough field with the men. There's really not been a whole lot of upsets on either side, which is why there's such a good potential finish on both sides. Just to let you all know.
Yep. And the beauty
On
of this
TNT.
is, it's on TBS, TNT, True TV, that whole collection. And because it's in France, you get games in the morning. So wake up and make some plans so you can cancel them.
Mm-hmm.
Although Alcaraz and Paul play tomorrow as we're recording at 2:15 p.m. But otherwise, a lot of morning events.
Wake
the championship
up before
is
every
Sunday at 9
American
a.m.
should be up and just be tweeting the most cryptic things.
Yeah.
Oh, I got you, Josh.
Thank you.
I'm
No,
on it.
I look forward to your 5:30 a.m. What a nightmare! This is a disgrace.
I can do
to the
that.
league. Please, I need that 7:15 a.m. You're already waking up the dog.
There's games 8 a.m. tomorrow.
Yeah.
Matches 8 a.m. tomorrow.
And games. Many games,
And
Johnny.
games.
Many games.
Many games.
The guys spent hours scrolling social media, and they found some pretty dumb stuff. Now they want to talk to you about it.
You get 10 extra points per sport if you also fire a rifle at a target. For any and every
Just any sport.
And you get sports.
LeBron
And
for
that- and
three
that's-
and then pulls out a rifle and shoots a target.
Yeah.
Good luck. It's time for What We're Following.
Guys, I can kick us off because I've got something, I'm not going to say somber because that makes it sound more sad than it is. But it's not like the usual dumb funny. Obviously, I'm a Lions fan, repping the Detroit Lions shirt. Big news in the NFL today. Frank Ragnow, all-pro center for the Detroit Lions, announced his retirement today out of
Oh,
pretty
wow.
much nowhere.
I did not hear that.
Yeah. He is 29 years old. Now, before I move on, I do want to just kind of say as an overarching statement, look, NFL players, wherever you are in your career, however long you've been there, whatever the situation, if you feel like you need to retire to take care of yourself, I am never going to disagree with that decision because that's the personal decision that you are making. So whatever I say moving forward, this is not me saying, "Wow, Frank, I can't believe you retired on us like that," because that's not where my attitude's at, and I don't think it's the attitude of many people. Hopefully, so I'll just that's an overarching statement. But I'm just reminded by this because, number one, this is sudden. He's one of the best centers, maybe the best center in the league, especially Jason Kelce not being there. And he's 29 for the Lions, who, you thought had one of the best offensive lines. It just is a reminder that the championship window is so small in the NFL, unless you're like the Kansas City Chiefs, because we hate them. And the reason why we hate them is because they've managed to extend their championship window for so long. For everyone else, if you're not named like the 2010 New England Patriots and the 2020 Kansas City Chiefs, the championship window is so small. And now I'm not going to sit here and eulogize the Lions quite yet because I don't know if that window's closed. But, maybe it has. maybe the window started to shut when you lost, well, when you had like 20 people injured on defense and you lost your first playoff game against the Commanders. Or, you know, when you dropped a perfectly good interception against the 49ers in the NFC Championship game. And it's not me being harsh on the Lions, like, oh my gosh, how could you do this? Like, you blew your opportunity. Like, you know what? Maybe you did. That's not the attitude I'm trying to take. I'm just saying, as a general statement, wow, the NFL championship window is so small. I mean, Johnny, the Bengals may have missed it. We're going to find out this year. They may have missed it.
It's like 2 years.
Yeah.
You literally get like 2 years. And that does, I think people miss that. They're like, what, are you saying the Lions are going to be awful now? No. Am I saying the Bengals are just going to be terrible and not make the playoffs again? No. But the Bengals made the AFC Championship game 2 years in a row.
Mm-hmm.
One of them they won. One of them they barely lost to the Chiefs. It's always the, Bengals losing the Super Bowl on, basically almost the last play of the game because Jamar Chase is wide open. That's a touchdown. Bengals probably win. Everyone's like, oh, don't worry. It's like year 2, they'll be back. You have no idea.
Yeah. Because
the sport is predicated on parity. And because of that, because of the hard cap and salary rules and unexpected injuries or retirements, Aaron, that can derail you. And you're right. The rule is not the Patriots and Chiefs.
Yeah.
The rule is the Seattle Seahawks, who got one, made it to a second Super Bowl. We all know, lose that Super Bowl, shouldn't have, but they lose it. Then they fall apart far quicker than people think. I give a lot of credit to the Eagles because they won that first Super Bowl. They fell apart and they regrouped very quickly.
Yeah.
That's not typical, but you're right. And that's not 100% oh man, the Lions are done. But man, do those championship windows close so fast. Look at the 49ers. They offloaded almost every defensive player of value besides Nick Bosa, it felt like, this offseason. They were in the Super Bowl 2 years ago.
Yep.
They close, man. They close fast, especially because having that cheap quarterback so critical.
Yeah.
So when Goff used to be cheaper, it wasn't a rookie deal, but he was much cheaper. Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes used to be on their rookie deals. Josh Allen, rookie deal. Lamar Jackson, rookie deal. Once you start making all that money, that makes it harder. So yeah. Sorry, I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Pretty significant.
Yeah.
I mean,
everything
and also,
you said,
I'm looking
I
at the
back you
division
up,
with
but
Minnesota, with Green Bay. I mean, Chicago should be better, right?
That's
the difference between maybe winning the division and not winning the division, especially when it's that competitive. I mean, San Francisco kind of in the same boat, trying to exist in the NFC West. Right, exactly. Yeah, after the draft, that timing's unfortunate.
It's so late.
Yep.
You can, which I echo everything you said. Who knows what's going on in his life, or if he's having physical injury issues, that aren't being reported. That's not all fully reported. That's nobody's business but his. But man, that's tough for the Lions, because that was something that they've leaned on a lot. And that doesn't mean the offensive line will just all of a sudden be awful, but that's your centerpiece. That's your cornerstone. That's a big deal. Big deal.
Yeah. I also think since the last time we talked, the NFL tush push vote happened, and we know which teams voted for it, and we know which teams voted against it. I'm happy to say that the tush push is still legal, and I'm happy to say that the teams that voted against it are all in the 5th and goal jail stockades.
Yes, they all belong there.
Yep.
Perfect.
They all belong there. The Eagles owner also belongs there, though, for his tirade that he apparently went on in the owners' meeting.
Oh, I missed that.
about the tush push. Apparently, he spoke for over an hour before they voted. And honestly,
I'd vote against it just for that out of spite. You're right.
Exactly. I was going to say, I'm almost surprised it didn't get voted to get rid of the tush push just because of that, out of spite. I would have been tempted to.
Yeah, I would have too.
So he's very lucky that still survived. I wonder if it was a closer vote because of that. But I'm happy it's there too. Unanimous. Listen, Stop it. Know what? And everyone's like, well, it's impossible to stop. Well, then why can't your team do it?
Yeah, exactly.
Because nobody else has been able to do it like the Eagles. If every team in the league could do it, then I hear the argument. Right? Like I hear the argument then. If everybody in the league can do this, it's automatic, 2 yards, it's a touchdown every time. But only one team can.
Yeah, let's ban the
I
forward
think everybody
pass
needs
too, because
to-
Patrick Mahomes is
Yeah.
too good at it. Come on, get out of here.
I need to I want to see more teams go kamikaze mode like the Commanders did at the goal line and just hopefully time the snap correctly and just leap over the line and hopefully you get Jalen Hurts. Hey, I think everybody gave them credit for that.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, man, I know you're not going to score. Like, we're probably not going to stop them, but we're going to try whatever we can.
Hey,
Like,
also,
I
if you want to
love
stop
that.
him, maybe just don't give up 99 yards and have the ball at the
Right.
1. You know?
Right.
Anyways.
Is that all you got, Aaron?
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Josh, would you like to go next?
Yes, real quick, just a quick straight to jail for Tom Cruise. Just a short time. He was in Dallas at the opening night of Mission Impossible, the last Final Reckoning, and he didn't tell me. And he went to the specific theater that I have an AMC Stubs membership to, and I can see his movie for free as often as I want, as long as it's under 4 times a week. And I would have let him know happily. He was just there signing autographs, talking about popcorn, and
Dude loves
Tom, what the
popcorn.
heck? He does, and I love that for him. But I don't love that he didn't let me in on the fact that he was going to just like show up at a random theater in Dallas.
I'm sorry for you, Josh.
I know, like, and it's not a short time. I'm not. It's not that I'm mad at him. I'm just.
Well, now I feel like I should talk about mine.
Yeah, go ahead.
I
this is
feel like
this is too good of a segue.
This is probably a segue.
Yeah,
I need to get that out. I didn't want to taint. I didn't want to color what you're following. So I want to at least get that out of the way, and then
Yes.
I don't hate him. You tell me next time, bud.
You're not mad,
You're just disappointed.
There it is.
Exactly.
Yeah, there we go, Aaron.
It's a night. It's a night in the slam. It's a night in the slam.
I used that on my soccer team this weekend during the tournament.
Oh.
I felt like I was 80.
In my day, we
Anyway.
made you guys run.
I went and saw The Last Reckoning last week. Now, I had only seen the very first Mission Impossible, and that was earlier this year because one of my friends was just astounded I'd never seen any of them. So we watched the very first one, which I respect the fact that he wasn't like, let's watch one of the newer ones. We went back to the beginning. I was like, it's all right. And then one of my different friend asked me on like Wednesday or Tuesday night, maybe, hey, do you want to go see the new Mission Impossible movie this week on Thursday at like 6:00? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And I text him back, which ones do I need to make sure I've watched before we go? And he's like, there's kind of an overarching story, but honestly, just make sure you watch like the last one, which I think was Dead Reckoning. Correct me if I'm wrong, Josh,
right.
The 7th one. And I'm like, okay,
I've
like
seen
I'll watch
the first,
that.
the second, and then this one. So I'm the.
Oh,
bad.
wow. Okay.
Yeah. No.
So,
there's no judgment on my end here.
life as a employed, not employed person, I then woke up on Wednesday and was like, you know what? I'm going to watch all of these movies. And so I watched 2, bad. 3, pretty good. 4, very good. 5, well, now I can't even remember. But my favorite one I watched was Fallout for sure.
Yeah.
Henry Cavill is just an outstanding villain in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
He's great. Just all of it's good. Rebecca Ferguson, great. Vanessa Kirby, great. So you got great actors and actresses all over the place. They're awesome. I love the plot. The villain is outstanding. You should just watch that. If you're not a fan of Mission Impossible, just it's a good standalone movie. Like it's fine on its own.
Because
Just watch that one. It's so good.
It's good, and also
like,
watch a movie where Tom Cruise doesn't have any safety restraints and still decides to hang off a plane.
yeah, it's outstanding. There's machine guns
He
on
had
that
to have
on
had
said
safety
plane.
restraints.
I don't know.
So
I don't
I've
trust
seen
that
some,
man to be
I've
right in the
seen
head.
some
Well,
shots
yeah,
pre
fair enough.
VFX, and there is actually no
Minimal?
wire work. Minimal. Like it
Okay.
is basically. There was an interview with one of his stunt coordinators saying they shoot the film in a specific order, meaning they'll shoot out of order, but all the non-dangerous scenes first because they have a backup plot in case he doesn't
Wow.
make a stunt.
Wait, now I want to know the backup plots.
Yeah, I do too.
I know. I really
Um,
want to know the backup plots.
They should release that on the DVD.
Yes.
So I watched
Coming to
all of
Walmarts near you.
these movies like a maniac. I watched 7 movies in less than 48 hours because I had obviously I slept, which I'm a weakling
shame
for
on
that.
you.
I slept.
You-
I woke up.
Why?
I woke up with breakfast. I'm watching Mission Impossible.
You
As I'm
literally
eating
killed
ice
the
cream at the end of the night, I'm watching Mission Impossible.
my unemployed friends at
Yeah.
10 a.m. on a Wednesday.
Yeah, and it's usually them at a mountain or lake. It's me on the couch watching Mission Impossible with the soundtrack stuck in my head. It's still stuck in my head 5 days later because I watched so much of it. And then I woke up Thursday, the day I'm watching, and I watched 3 movies before I watched The Final Reckoning. So all that to say, it was fun. Outstanding. Rogue Nation was also good. That's probably my second favorite. Final Reckoning was good. It's not as good as those other 2, in my opinion, but it's still worth the watch. Appreciate Tom Cruise. He's a madman, but I respect it and like watching. I feel like other than the second one, you really won't watch a Mission Impossible and be like, oh man, I hated that.
What happened in the second one? I'm trying to remember
I
why
don't
that
think
one...
that's really possible because they're not they're good movies. They're good, they're fun movies. Like the whole family really can watch it because it's not over.
Riding
At
a
least I'm
motorcycle
thinking
in the
there's not really any
poster.
cursing or
How is it
anything.
too bad?
It's just a good. It's a good franchise, good movies. I don't know if I buy it that this is the final movie, but it was a decent ending if it is. Josh, did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it. I guess not opening night Thursday, but this most recent Thursday.
Oh, so we watched it at the same
Oh, it was
time.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
I thought it was good. Very good movie. I had a good time. Again, I went into it no way else like this. And I didn't. It wasn't one of my favorite movies, but it was a fun movie. So now, maybe more pressing, I'm starting to get concerned that I've now trained my body to ingest an entire extra large bucket of popcorn and an extra large soda and not even need to use the bathroom in a 3-hour movie time period. So I'm starting to be concerned for my well-being and health that I don't even need to go to the bathroom the last hour of the movie I used to have to do.
I go back and forth because the past 2 times I don't normally get drinks, but sometimes
I gotta have a popcorn and
soda.
drink.
I'll get a soda. But the past 2 movies I saw in theaters, Thunderbolts and MI, I'm like, it's like an hour in and I have to go. And I remember it becomes almost like the road trip thing where I'm like, I dehydrate myself when I'm on road trips. If I need to go 9 hours, cool, I'm not drinking. And these movies are too dang long. I'm like, I need to. Now, if it's just me, I don't care. But if I'm with other people, I dehydrate myself. That way, I'm not the one having to go to the restroom. But anyway, that's just me. That's we're working on that separately. In the movie, I have to pick and choose what I think will be the low part of the movie. And so with Thunderbolts, I misjudged.
No.
I misjudged the timing. I thought they had already done the thing of establishing the void, and they hadn't. So I did miss a scene that I had to watch on TikTok later that night. It's okay. Yeah, I know. Don't do that. Don't film. I'm glad I happened to get to see it, but don't film. Let it be.
Don't do that.
Don't do that, please.
Also, don't do that because you're distracting everybody in the theater.
Also,
I
can see you.
Yeah, don't do that.
And then, thankfully, for Mission Impossible, I was able to I was able to guess there was like 2 or 3 high action scenes in a row. I'm like, I think they're gonna just do some exposition for 2 minutes. I think that's enough time, and I nailed it. They were talking
Well,
about
and that's the nice thing with Mission Impossible. The fight scenes are like 10 minutes with no progress being made until the very end. So you're probably good.
it's just an
Now it's
increasing sense
impressive,
of
good
like
cinematography, but
this is like
like
not
that
even a
train
man
scene
anymore, Tom
in
Cruise. Yeah.
the 7th movie, that took forever. That train was falling for
Oh, yeah.
years.
Yes.
Years.
And there's
Yeah.
I mean, and again, not that I'm going to spoil it. because
Not
he appears in
it,
the
it at least
trailers.
wasn't on the runway as
Yeah.
Fast and Furious movie, where that plane is on that runway for an hour
Yep.
at full speed on that runway. That runway will never end.
Just like family.
Oh,
Just like family, it'll never
Never
end.
runs
You're
out.
right, Josh. You're right, Josh. All right, enough about our bladder intake.
yeah.
Yes.
Share
new
what
band,
your
new band
bladder
name. I
is,
call it
Josh.
sorry,
bladder
yeah.
intake. I'm calling that new band name.
It's a great.
All right, sorry.
Oh man, they're going to play at the Jazz and Rib Fest this coming. Summer.
Oh, I love me the Jazz and Rib Fest.
Bladder-
Josh, you coming down for
bladder-
that? Or up, I guess, because
Up?
if you go any further down, you need a passport, I guess.
They do not. They do not have. Yeah, they've not. Yeah, the Mexicans have not
Every
quite come
day
up with
is a
the
Jazz
Columbus
and Rib
Jazz and Rib
Fest.
Fest.
Oh, okay.
In Texas.
Yeah,
That is, you
that's
know
true.
what? On any, there is a music bar where any given, specifically they advertise we're gonna have bands for like 3 or 4 hours every night, 7 days a week. It's right across from that one barbecue place that took you, Aaron, when you came down.
Mm,
So I could have jazz rip nights
Hmm.
every night
that's
if I wanted to,
that's great.
and it would be for the next 2.5 months because that's how long I would live.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm going paleo. No, I'm dying. Um, uh, instead of watching a movie, if you're more of an outdoorsy type, instead of watching the abysmal, just low rating NBA Finals, you can watch an American classic, and that's baseball. And I'm not talking about going to like a Phillies game. You're more than welcome to. I'm not talking about going to a Rangers game, although I am going to. I'm talking about going to just a random minor league game. And sometimes it's not even a AAA.
Mm.
Like I love going to a nice Clippers game when I'm back in Columbus, head up to Huntington Park, beautiful. Why didn't you have that when I was growing up? But I'm talking like these random high A, double A affiliates because their theme nights are the best. I'm going to read you some of the best theme nights for the month of June. Just June.
Just June.
Just June.
Shout out Dayton Dragons.
Yes.
Shout
Shout
out.
Also, shout out Wright State baseball. Sorry to interrupt, but
Oh, also, yeah, actually, great.
Oh,
Actually,
yeah.
thank
Anyways.
you. Yeah, let's shout
Yeah.
out. Thank you, Wright State. I've been there. I'm familiar with your game. Thank you for doing that.
Yep.
For making
Everyone's
me
familiar with their
scrolling
game
through
now.
my
Yeah, they are.
everyone knows their game.
Yep.
Guys, the West Michigan Whitecaps, high A affiliate of the Detroit Tigers, June 4th. So Wednesday, today, if you're listening on Spotify, tonight, June 4th is National Cheese Day. The West Michigan Whitecaps are celebrating with what they're calling a game-long salute. Not a ton of details have been released, except for the fact that last year, during this same year, they opened what they called a queso castle as part of their concession stands. What's a queso castle? It's just 6 types of cheese you can put on anything you want. It's great. So expect that this year. June 6th, the Asheville Tourists, IA Houston affiliate, are going to celebrate the only giant salamander species native to North America, which is the Asheville-based hellbender salamander.
No. I love that.
So just for that night, they are renaming themselves the Asheville Snot Otters.
What
Wow.
What does that have to do with the salamander?
Well, I don't think it's a clean salamander. I think it likes They just released alternative jerseys. Hold on. I gotta check that out.
thought you were going to say everybody gets to take a salamander home,
Like
like a bobblehead night.
Freaking sold out here. I'm gonna put this in chat for you guys. It's great. I don't know, maybe Snot Otter's their local name for it, but like fantastic. You can just get that by going to snototters.com
I love that.
if you are interested. Speaking of name changes, both June 6th and 7th, one of our favorite single A affiliates, the Augusta Green Jackets, are going to change their name temporarily. They're going to play as the Central Savannah River Area River Donkeys. River Donkeys. It's a tribute, as I would hope, to the Donkeys of Stallings Island, which is an archaeological site near Augusta, Georgia. There are donkeys there. Why? Well, someone put goats in there on this island in 2008 to help with the vegetation, kind of help control the vegetation. Well, these goats kept getting eaten by the coyotes, so then they brought in the donkeys to be the goats' bodyguards. And that's how we got river donkeys. And they honor them this coming weekend by renaming themselves the CSRA River Donkeys. You can get the hats. You
I
can get a
love
ball
river
cap.
donkeys, though.
It's fantastic. Is this one available?
All of these could be potentially amazing ball caps.
Oh yeah,
Like,
look at.
what
I
a
mean,
amazing
again,
collection of baseball caps.
sending you guys hold on, that's not the. Oh yeah, Shop River Donkeys. Yeah, their merch is fantastic. Yeah, these are not sold out. Hold on, sending these to you guys now. Ignore that middle text. This is the one you want. Yeah, you guys, these are. Oh my gosh. Okay. They're flat brims. They are low on stock. You need to get these now.
I don't
Everything
want
else
a
is sold
flat
out.
brim.
Everything else is sold out. I'm sorry, Johnny. You're gonna have to just go.
I hate flat brims.
I know. All right. I'm sorry. We didn't record this podcast sooner, than June 2nd. All right. Let's see if I can get something else for you, Johnny. Oh, you're gonna love this one, Johnny. I mean, you are too, Aaron. But like, man, we're just really in a renaming season for June. The Arkansas Travelers, AA affiliate of the Mariners. They're going to rename themselves for the entire week of June 10th to the 15th, so next week. Greg Johnston is the vice president of stadium operations for the Travelers. He's currently in his 50th year of serving the team, which is fantastic.
That's great.
He has a dog. His dog's name is
Yes.
Dizzy. Everyone loves Dizzy. A beautiful
Dizzy the dog.
Dizzy the dog. So
Does he get the bat after the at-bats? Does he go fetch him?
I don't know if
I bet he does.
It looks like he's a constant ballpark presence as well as its most popular denizen. So he probably can if he wants to. He's probably got that type of clout, that type of pull. The entire week of next week for their home games, they're going to rename themselves from the Arkansas Travelers to the Barkansas Drizzies.
Yes.
That should be
and
a
everything.
permanent name change.
Permanent
That's
name change.
Way better.
Yep.
The Travelers
It's
will
way
play
better.
Arkansas Drizzies for the entirety of their 6-game series against the Northwest Arkansas Naturals. Dogs will be allowed in the ballpark for every Dizzy's game. On June 12th,
Of course.
on June 12th specifically, there will be a Dizzy bobblehead giveaway. And on June 14th is Dizzy's 8th birthday bash.
Oh,
Get there.
I'm Googling Barkansas right now.
Let's see if I can get
Well, it came up immediately. Barkansas
Good.
Dizzy's hat.
Oh, you can't get
I might have to get a bandana for Archer.
Get a bandana. Oh my gosh, get a bandana for Archer. He's going to freak.
He hates bandanas when he comes back from the groomer. But he'll love the Dizzy hat.
He'll like the hat. You can get can you get on the bat? Will he like the
You know
bat?
what? I don't see any hats on here. There's only a knit cap.
I see the knit cap.
I see a bandana.
Yeah.
There's no ball cap.
Oh man.
That's lame. Yeah, fix
Well,
that.
the dog can't wear a hat. It can wear a. It can
I know
wear a
most
knit
of the
cap.
stuff is for a dog because it's a collar, a dog jersey, a dog bandana, a dog toy. The only thing for people is the knit cap and a hoodie.
There's a few others here, but frankly, Bark and Saw Dizzy's, that's the highlight.
That's a good one to end on, Josh.
I'm going to end on that one.
That one's awesome.
Rule of threes or fours, however many I did. The rule of whatever
It's
I
an
did.
outstanding one. He's slobbering over the baseball that he has in his mouth.
It's
just
alternate
awesome.
jersey. These alternate logos.
And he's clearly
are,
a Labra Golden.
Oh,
you know,
truly.
like
the
he's,
level
that's
of
awesome.
dedication. Like whatever their, so especially for these name changes, whatever like arts teams they have on this, fantastic job. Thank you so much, graphic teams. You are the unsung heroes. I would want all of these, and I will buy them on eBay for 10 times what they were originally sold for.
That's good.
So my call to action is go to one of the games I just talked about. Go to Cheese Day. I think what am I kidding? Go to one of the Bark and Saw days. Don't have a dog, get a dog. Don't get a dog just to abandon it. Get a dog and make a commitment, darn it.
And part of that commitment is taking them down to a Bark and Saw game.
Okay, now where do
Well,
the
if I finish last or first, I don't know if I can finish first anymore. But if I finish last or first, I'll be in Birmingham. That's close to Arkansas. Not
it's
really.
It's in Little Rock. You know how far away I am from Little Rock?
Not that far.
Not
like
that
5?
far. Yeah. That's a day. That's a long day trip. That's a doable day trip. What am I doing next week? Oh,
guys, I just remembered we picked the soccer. Did we have any points that came from that?
Soccer?
Oh,
Oh,
that's
it's a week?
true.
What did I pick?
Because
what did I pick?
PSG beat
PSG won.
Inter.
Did anyone have
Josh, who did
PSG?
you pick?
Hold
I
on,
picked
what-
Arsenal.
What week was that?
I think Josh, you may have gotten
Aaron,
a point for that. I'm looking this up.
Oh,
Yeah, because you might have picked PSG. I can't remember if you did or not.
So
though.
I'm just
17
gonna
or
go to
18?
episode.
I think it was 17. Yeah, so good we forgot it 2 weeks later.
Yeah, PSG
nope,
destroyed Inter Milan 5-1.
Oh,
It was the largest victory in Champions League final history.
was it this one?
Oh, I did pick.
Which makes me feel-
episode
Yeah.
16. I picked PSG.
Oh,
Yes, you
there we
did.
go.
Oh, I got
Oi,
a chance to
breaking
go down to
news.
that Waffle House.
It's called soccer now.
Yep.
It's still called
Well,
football. It's okay.
I was going to say, it's a European tournament, so
No,
probably not.
Yeah. And with me, with
Good job, Josh.
a vaguely European last name, have now determined, congratulations, it's soccer.
What's our
Association-
takeaway from that? Teams are better without their superstars. You can let them leave or trade them away, and
Hear
you
that,
are
Dallas?
just as good.
Hear that? Yeah.
A la
You just woke
OKC,
up. You just like sat up real
Indiana.
quick.
Well, but OKC and Indiana both trade away Paul George. Get rid of
Yeah.
Paul George.
That's the
You
like
may
that.
make
Just
the
trade
NBA
Paul
Finals.
George.
Don't
The
draft.
Clippers are like, what the heck?
Yep.
Why can't we gotta make it now?
Yep. I had a thought. Oh, my thought to recap this because we talked about the Fast and Furious movies. Someone pointed out that 2027 4-star quarterback Gunnar Rivers is at Texas today. If that name sounds
Oh, yeah.
familiar, son of legendary quarterback Philip Rivers. And the caption is, "We're about to get one of these every 1 to 2 years for the next decade, like the Fast and Furious."
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm
movies.
like,
That's so true. We'll leave you with
Oh,
that.
man.
Go.
this is
Longhorns.
if you can't get a Super Bowl in your own career, have enough kids to try it to at least
Yes.
attend one of your family.
Yep.
This is what we call football
Playing the odds.
playing the odds.
Playing the odds.
Yep, that's correct. Well,
That's a
I'll have
dynasty.
a lot of kids so they can try to build a successful podcast. All right, listeners, viewers, wherever you're at, thanks for checking out this episode. Next week, season finale of season 3. I'd say we'd have something big planned. We don't. It's just the same show. We'll yell at you about sports. We look forward to talking to you then. Listeners, viewers, have a good one.